So this is today's walk from Eyam up over onto Eyam Moor, the stone circles and the Barrow, back along Sir William Hill Road, down to Bretton, and then back along Eyam Edge into Eyam via the Plaguestone. So I'm just going to take you through a very quick 3D view of the walk, to explain where it goes and all that sort of good stuff. So here we go. Starting in Eyam, we go up the hill straight from the car park, wind away for a nice wooded area. Right to the top where we meet the road, we take a right there and then take a left across the fields past Lady Wash Mine and the big mobile mast. We then come onto Sir William Hill Road at the junction there. We cross straight over that and now we head out across the open moorland. Some quite nice views off the edge there, and then we drop down all the way till we meet the wall at the bottom, and then we come along the bottom and then back up the next wall. So from there we start to climb again. Some good views across to the left there, and then this is really a bit of a rough cut across across the old moorland there. You can get lost if you're not too careful. And then we drop down to here where the stone circle is and the Barrow, and then we cut back across the moor. There's actually a footpath straight from the Barrow, so you could probably avoid that. Back onto Sir William Hill Road once we've crossed the moor. So again, crossing the moorland here, it's all quite tough going. But there is a path there, as you can see. Then across Sir William Hill Road we go. We continue to follow that when we catch up. I'm not sure what's going off here. There we are. To the Trig point, we've just gone past there. Then we drop down towards Bretton. Take a right here, and that drops us down to the middle of Bretton village. And the Bull's Head pub would come out right next to that. So on a nice sunny day, that'd be really good for a pint. And then we come out of Bretton down to the road. There's a pub there, and then we take a right, and then we drop down to this sort of large sort of building site is the best way I can discuss it. The pub takes you around the edge of there, then we go along the bottom of Eyam Edge there, up into the woodland, and back on to meet the road at the top. We follow that for a short period until we come back to where we came in the first place and climbed up, but we take a right there, drop down through Jumber Brook, down through there into that field there where the Plaguestone is, back into Eyam and back to the car park. So that's in a nutshell the route. Nice little route that. I'll show you in a minute how long it took. Hopefully, it normally does. It's just going to pull back and just show you the route in its completeness, as you can see there. So nice little route for an afternoon walk. Quite a bit of elevation, 1480 feet. I actually got it as you climb quite a bit there. So 13 kilometres, so about 8 miles it was. It's 3 hours 55 minutes. It's not bad. I think it took me about that, and 451 metres of ascent, which is about your 1480 feet. So, you know, all in all, a really nice walk. Highly recommended. Right guys, today we're in the plague town of Eyam, or plague village. So I'll tell you all about that on the way up. We're headed up onto Eyam Moor to look at barrows, stone circles, Bag and Ethel while we're up there. Okay, so we'll see you shortly. That's the village of Eyam, and we're heading up here to the top. So Eyam's known as the plague village. In 1665 a plague came here. Came through a bit of delivery to a local tailor. Damp cloth, he heated it up, the fleas got out and away it went. Thing is, the village were quite self-sacrificing really, because they isolated themselves. So later on the walk we're going to see a plague stone where they used to meet or drop off food and money and exchange with other villagers without actually meeting them, which apparently saved a lot of the villagers in the area getting a plague. So quite a famous story. I'll find out a bit more about it, put something up in the links and maybe a bit on the screen. But I'll crack on now. About 4.5 hours, 8 mile walk, just over 1480 feet of ascent I think. So it's going to be quite a good walk. So I'll see you when we get some more interesting stuff on the way up. It's a nice little bit of a
woodland a bit. All the ivy on the trees. Some cottages down there. So heading up top of Eyam Moor, straight across the top, round to the stone circle, and some Bronze Age cairns and stuff, and across to Sir William Hill, Trig Point, and back down via the Plague Stone for the village. So quite a quaint little bit this. So I'll catch up with you, hopefully when we're on the top. Quite clearly a very old track this, going up here. Tell where it's sort of worn down over the years. I'll just show you. Appears like I can hear an owl in the daytime, which is a bit, but I know it's their sort of mating time and stuff, so, but yeah, it looks really old this. It's quite interesting. You think about the old ridgeways, look at the cobbles. So again, we're going back a fair time. We're going to crack on, head up to the road and up over the moor. There we go. This footpath going across here, part of the White to Dark Peak Trail. Looks like the walking magazine, something to do with that. It goes off down there. Once I'm a bit fitter, I will be doing some hopefully multi-day hikes. But first of all, I need to get up to a decent 18-20 mile walks first is my first plan. Do the EDL skyline and a few other walks like that. So road's just up here, we're going there, turn right and left across the moor. Bit of road walking. I'm not too keen on roads, try not to use them unless I have to, but there's no real of a route across there, so that's the first part of the walk done, which is quite a steep climb. I'll let you know how much it was. At least 400 or 500 foot, I think. Anyway, some nice houses around here. We're off down here left, past the disused mine and Bowl Hill Reservoir, over to Sir William Hill Road, not the Bookies, and then we're on here more properly, and then we'll just head over towards these cairns and the Bronze Age stone circle. So really looking forward to that. Mast on the top there. We're heading over this hill, come to what's called Lady Wash Mine. When we get there, I'll take a few seconds there and find out what I can about that mine. So much lead mining activity in this area, as I said on previous videos. All goes back to Neolithic times. Hi guys, I don't know if you can see that in the distance, but I'll put a video up just to sort of show you, but I think that there, if you can see that, it's Higator, and then there's Albator, that might be Higator in the background there. I'll put up a detailed video. Oh, that's a Longshore estate. It's quite a good walk, I've done that before. And then you come round to over there, I think is the Fox House as they call it, and up over the other side of there is Sheffield. So I'll put a more detailed video. It won't be fantastic, it's a bit hazy and grey today, but some cracking views up here. We're just going past this mine now, and then heading up over Eyam Moor. So I'll just switch this around as we walk past the mine. Not a lot there. I'll have a look when we just get around this corner. So I felt a bit fitter this week. I've now been almost 5 weeks off of the ale, which is discipline, I can tell you. And just last couple of weeks I've started training a bit of weights, bit of cardio, 4 or 5 times a week, plus a good 8 mile walk with plenty of climbing. That's leg day done. Yeah, I think this is a mine just to the left in the distance there. So not a huge amount to see, but that's Lady Wash Mine apparently. We're heading off down this footpath here over the wall and then straight across Eyam Moor by the looks of it. So yeah, cracking views there. I think that's a reservoir, looks like it's an underground one, Bowl Hill Reservoir. Okay, we're going to crack on. I can see a trig point over there in the distance. I think I'm coming back to that, and I think that's the one on the Sir William Hill Road. So I'm going to head off for Moor, do a loop and come back over that way to then drop back into Eyam to go past the Plague Stones. I'll probably come back round the village one day with the missus for a walk and maybe video that, we'll see. So a bit of a loop and a figure of 8 really today. So she'll catch up with you when we get over the moor and towards these Cairns. Catch you soon. Just popped over the stile. First one of the fucking day. Dog shit bag. An empty one. I'll pick it up and take it back with me. We're headed off across the moor now. My favourite sort of walking. Up there you can see the trig point in the distance. We're coming back up to that. Up this road. Sir William Hill Road. Not sure what that is. Old cart track. Some of these roads are military roads, but I'll see if I can do a bit of digging on that as usual. Do like to find my history out. We're going to head off here now to the far edge of the moor, come in a loop back round there to the stone circle, and then back up Sir William Hill Road to the trig point. So lovely and quiet, away from the masses. Castleton today was heaving. It's half term now for the next couple of weeks of various schools, so it's all getting a bit chaotic, so I tend to steer clear now. Yeah, a bit of a gap in between now and Easter, which again, get out on some of the more popular routes, maybe even try and get out in the week if I can. Although I do struggle with that, I do work like a Monday to Friday, so I'll have to see what we can do there. Potentially might be doing a bit of a collaboration with an Instagram. I can't say too much, but a guy contacted me, similar interests, you know, history, Vikings, walking, so we might do a bit of a collaboration in the next few weeks. It'll be cool. Probably thinking of going up over Derwent to Edge Lost Lad. So all going off, all going off. I had a bit of a video go a bit mental the other day. I don't know if you saw it. It's on my Facebook page, I think. So go and click on that. I'll put a link in again. Go and follow me on there if you want to. One of the old off my countryside code video, the old Petunia and Joe, if you remember it, you're old enough. That's just got absolutely crazy now. I think it's like 4,000 or 5,000. Before somebody shared it, it was down at about 50. So it just goes to show you, doesn't it, how social media works. So anyway, less of that. More walking, less talking. I'll catch up with you when we get to the far edge. So we might get some cracking views there. And then obviously, a bit I'm really looking forward to, the stone circle. Okay, catch you in a bit. More signs of man-made activity here. A couple of like open workings there on the top of the moor. You see over the top there, I think again, Owlator, Higator. I think that's Stanage Edge over there in the background. But we'll have another look when we get to the edge there. So all lovely and quiet up here. I'll just be quiet for a sec. Can't hear a damn thing. Some people in the distance. Amazing how far the sound carries when you're in open country like this. You can't beat it. I think this is one of the prehistoric cairns. I'll try and find out what they were used for. They might have been to mark a path, or I'm not 100% certain. I'll do some digging. But the place is dotted with them. You can see some of the distance when I go past quite a few on the way over to the stone circle. There are apparently 3 stone circles on here. I'm seeing the main one, but there are 2 others apparently. So again, I'll find some details out, stick it in the description, and maybe I'll pop up on here just so I can explain where they are. Maybe get the grid reference. There's another cairn or something over there, I think, by the looks of it. That's definitely a cairn of some description. Cool, isn't it? You know, imagine people. I mean, the Bronze Age, one of the 3 prehistoric ages. So you've got the Stone Age, which takes you up to 3,500 BC. And then from 3,500 BC to 1200 BC was the Bronze Age. And by Bronze Age, they mean people were either able to make their own stuff out of bronze or were trading in bronze items. And then from 1200 BC, it was the Iron Age. What I mean by prehistory is basically before recorded history. So before people were writing stuff down or putting stuff onto hieroglyphics and stuff like that, I guess. So yeah, fascinating how old these things are, really. Anyway, there we go. Wow, some cracking views over here now. I think that might be Win Hill over there. I think I can see the Great Ridge in the distance, Kinder Scout looming, and then you've got Bamford Edge, Stanhead Edge, Owler Tor, I think it is. What I'll do, I'll get the tripod out and just do a bit of a 180 using the better camera. Took a few shots there. We're now heading down the path there, across and back over there. So yeah, see you shortly. See there, a load of rocks and stones. Whether they're anything, I don't know. There's a lot scattered around here. We're heading back up. There's a wall there that takes us back up, and then we cut across to that way to the stone circle. So that should be good. Bit of hour this morning. It seems to have eased off, but I thought come the new year, had my last drink on the 9th of January. My missus' works do. Thought get healthy now. Back on the calorie deficit, weights, cardio, and a good walk. I've had a gout about twice since then. Never had it when I was drinking much at all, which is a bit frustrating. But I'm sure it's probably just my system cleaning itself out. We'll be off to the doctors for a medical, I think. I'm 55 after all. Last time I went to the doctor was about 10 years ago, so God knows what's happened since then. Anyway, go along this path. Not seeing many grouse or anything, which you normally tend to see. Got my camera all set up. hopefully to get them in flight and that, but sod's law, innit? You got everything set up, you never see them. When you do see them, you never get a chance to catch them. But that's wildlife photography for you. There we go. Again, looking out over there. Quite interesting low there. And looking up towards Stanage Edge in the distance. Bamford Edge is just here. I think that's Tor, so I was wrong with Higgertor. Higgertor's a bit further over to the left, and then we're heading up, back over this footpath, up over Eyam Moor, find these stone circles. Maybe go and carry out a sacrifice. Who knows? Then up to the Trig point where, for today's lunch, pork pie topped with cheese and Branston pickle. Advise you, if you're ever in Castleton, go to the Pete Bakery, mate. My nemesis. I really have to try and keep out of that. I treat myself at a weekend now. Try and be good. When I moved here in May last year, I put about 2 stone on. Combination of beer, bacon and egg cobs, pastries, pork pies, sausage rolls, Scotch eggs, you name it. Everything that's good to eat, not so good for you. So, back on track now. My aim is to do 90 days without a drink. I've been having a reunion with a few old schoolmates, and after about 3 pints I'll be pissed as a fart. That'll save me a few quid if nothing else. Anyway, head up over the moor now, towards the stone circles. A great name for that low there, it's called High Low. Anyway, makes you laugh. So farms at the bottom of it, and I think that's Bowl Hill over there as well. So we're, as I said previously, head up this path, then we take a bit of a left, across the moor, no footpath really, it's all open access. Across the moor, past a load of cairns, that should be interesting walking, and then to the stone circle and back round. The village, it's the village of Hathersage down there. I rode up over to Sheffield and the moors. Way up there, looks like some rock structure up there on the horizon. So we'll carry on up here. Gorgeous. I think that in the distance is Higgertor. Could be wrong, pretty certain it is. That's a cracking walk. Did that in winter once, sort of Highland Coos and all that. So yeah, but very, very, very popular, because you can literally, a bit like Mamtor, park up and walk over. It's not a bad thing. I see a lot of stuff on social media, people kicking off. They need to be snobs, mate. Hey, the good thing is getting people out of their house, isn't it? It's one good thing about the pandemic, and if that's all they can manage, park up a car park and do a 10-15 minute walk. Better sat in front of the TV in it. Seems to get a lot of that these days, I don't know why. They seem to think that the countryside's just for the elite. You know, well, that's bollocks, mate, it's for everybody. That's why we had the kinder trespass in 1932. It's for the masses, for everybody. The more people go out, great. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we head up there, and over there, and I think across that ridge over there to the stone circles, if I remember rightly. We'll soon find out. It's cooling down a bit now. I don't think the cloud's quite high. I don't think it's going to drop or anything like that. So, okay. Some more formations there. Cairns, or grouse butts actually, I think they are. I was hoping to cut across there, but it's fucking wall in the way. A bit of way through, somewhere down here, because it's all open access land. So, right away over there. So I'll probably take a bit of a detour, find a point maybe where we can climb over without damaging the wall, and See where we go from there. It's just across that ridge there is where I need to go. Oh, here we are. This looks like it might be navigable. See you shortly. Seek and ye shall find. Should mark these on maps really. We're heading off over that way now, down to the stone circle. I thought that was a bird of prey in the distance, bloody fence post. So yeah, we're going to head through here now. Bit of a tight squeeze with a pack on. You know, a bit of a tight squeeze without a pack on, mate. But we got through. There's a bit of a track here. Keeper's track or something. Follow that along to the edge. And then, yeah, we'll be reet. You have to watch this in summer. They went out, where was it, over Shining Tor and Goit Valley with the missus a while back. Last couple of years ago now, I think. Must have been. And, yeah, she had a tick bite and actually came down with what's it called? Oh, Lyme's disease. I was going to say Wild's disease, but that's rats. Yeah, she came down with Lyme's disease. They gave her antibiotics because they caught it quite early, but she was quite ill with that. Luckily there were no long lasting effects, but it just goes to show there's only a small one just by a belly button. I think you wouldn't have noticed it, you know. It's only the fact it went a bit red and you got started to get the bullseye. So luckily we recognised that, a bit boggy here, and got to hospital pretty quickly, and they pumped her full of antibiotics basically. So yeah, that was a close escape. People have died of that. Watch where I'm stepping now. This is across open moorland, so the odd hole, the odd boggy bit. I've not put my gaiters on because it doesn't seem to be boggy enough for that. I could hear a grouse then. But anyway, we'll keep on keeping on. Following very faintly, you can see where someone's been before. Very hard to follow in places, and you've always got to watch this. There's always bloody holes and stuff that can just take your ankle out. So following roughly the line of where I was expecting to go. I'll follow this track because people tend to know where they're going. There's a line of cairns to the left, I think, but I think this track will take us straight there, so I'll follow it. You can see it going through there. Maybe an old keeper's track or something, or just where people have come before. Anyway, quite interesting territory. Fight your way through the jungle. Yeah, you can see here the flattened grass that people have come through. I'll take a stab around here. I'm going to check the map, and we'll be in touch with you soon. I get to the stone circle now. I think I need to concentrate. See you soon. Bit of like a bit of a workings here or something. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like it. Got a few paths out of here. Quite cool that. See if there's anything on the map. Rock face quarry. Yeah, slightly off. I need to go back over here a bit now. And I think there's a path here, up and over here, back on the track. Bit of a climb. But all good fun. Like an old quarry or something like this. Right. Over this way, I think. Be so careful around here. Imagine if you were, oops, I think we're over here somewhere. Take a bearing when I get here, top of this hill. A better view where we are. Grouse. So headed down there towards the stone circle. Not far to go now. And then heading back over the moor, back to Sir William Hill Road. So I'll catch you when I get to Stone Circle now. Like I said before, keep repeating myself. Speak to you shortly. Really good look over towards Win Hill, Bamford, Stanage Edge. Bamford Edge and Stanage Edge there. The Tor, our Tor I think, and back round. The Stone Circle just over where them people are. A bit off piste here. But just goes to show important how understanding maps and compass can be. So even the best of us get lost. I'll see you shortly. Well, according to the map, it was all I can assume is it's just covered in heather. Going down to what this structure over here is. See if that's it. Across these viewpoints, all items of interest on, always well marked. And there's a clear footpath because I can see a footpath sign over there. And then, rather than going my original route over that way, because as you probably know, walking through heather and stuff like that saps your energy quite a bit. So I'm probably going to come back this way and cut across up there and meet up at the Trig point, because I think that'll shave a little bit of time off. Here we are back on the, none of these paths are marked on the map, so normally you get a black dotted line. So all I can assume is it's this over here, because there's a stone over there, but not much to see really. So we'll have a wander over here and then head back to Eyam, I think. This is the middle, look, stones there around the edge. This is the stone circle. Bronze Age, Neolithic. So anywhere between 3200 BC to 1200 BC. It's slightly off where it was marked on the map, but you can definitely see it there around the edges. I'll take a video on the old better camera as well. So, also here is Eyam Moor Barrow, I'm assuming. Well, that's what's left of it. There's also another barrow over there in the distance. And we're going to head back up there. We've come just over the top there. Again, wishing to have good views of these places. That's really cool. The barrow as well as a stone circle. Clearly quite an important place. Cracking views as always, like I mentioned. We're heading off up here now into the distance, following the path. That'll take us back up onto Sir William Hill Road, Trig Point, then heading towards Eyam. And we're going to go through Bretton. I think there's quite good views there from the pub. So we'll see what happens there, just as we walk back for the stone circle. You can see there's one of the major stones, and then Walk back through the middle here to the centre, and I bet that if you measured this centre stone here, it's bang in the middle, cool in it. We're heading off there, not stalking that person, but we're head up following the path up there, get onto the main drag. Again, look at these stones here. See, it fell over. Been here thousands of years. Just amazing, isn't it? Anyway, let's crack on. Fantastic here, look. I'll do a quick 360 in the camera, all across the edges. Right over there. I think they're Kerbor and Frogget in the distance. Nice cool white colour stone there. We're heading back up here following this track to hit the main drag just over there. There's a pool there, over a pool there. A bit boggy, we've come back over there. This is a path. It makes you wonder, my mind likes to wonder a bit, or wonder a lot. Too much when we used to come here, right, daydreamer. But that path is so deep. Was that the original path that the Bronze Age people took to get to the stone circle? So I'm certain they wouldn't have lived up here. They'd have come up here for religious purposes and things like that. It's quite exposed, so who knows. But this path is, look at the side, it's well worn down, like an ancient ridgeway. That's perfectly straight, isn't it? Sir William Hill Road. Keep wanting to say Sir Frank Whittle. That comes from my time and working with Rolls Royce, I think. But yeah, straight as a die, that. We'll check if there's any sort of Roman history to it, because it's so straight. It smacks of either an old military road or a Roman road. I'll have a bit of digging. Up to the trig point. There we'll have some water, a cup of coffee and a pork pie. So, lovely avenue of cheese here on the edge of this wall. So, oh, pardon me, must be hungry. So, catch you at the top there, almost at the top, top of my breathing. That's where we came originally over this morning, so we've done a bit of a loop back on ourselves. So, up to the trig point, I think you can get through up there hopefully, and then food, a brew, maybe a bit of a chat, and see if there's any good pictures or videos we can get from the top there. And then we're heading down into Bretton and down into Eyam, so pretty much downhill from here hopefully. So I'll see you at the top. There. This was an old Roman road. Can you imagine having to slow up here? I think those Roman legions did about 30 miles in a day with all your kit laden up. I mean, I've weighed my pack this morning to see how much it weighed, and it's £20. I'm sure they carried a lot more than that. So yeah, interesting road that. We'll find out more. So head up here now, grab some food, go to the brow of the hill, and some cracking views there. Just hoping. Yeah, look, there's a gate there. A style up to the trig point. Whoop. Okay, now keep an eye where you're going. There we are, Sir William Hill. Ha. Lovely, stunning views. Mamtor in a very far distance. Great Ridge, Bamford Edge, Winhill, Stanage Edge, Owl Tor, over to Kerbor, Frogget. Be stunning on a sunny day. Bit hazy today. Back towards Eyam and back where we're going down there. I'll do one on the other camera whilst there's no one here, and then I'm going to grab a bite to eat. That's what it's all about. Cup of coffee, cheese and Branson topped pork pie, and a fantastic view. Not a soul to be seen. That's why I come out. Good for the mind, good for the body. And yeah, all on my doorstep, luckily. Anyway, if you've got any ideas where you might want me to do a walk or any topics, let me know. Thinking of doing at some point in the next few weeks, Derwent Edge, before that gets too busy. It's getting up towards Easter, so wait till half term's out of the way. Yeah, so let me know and catch up with you when we're back on the walk going down towards Bretton. There's an old well or something on the map. I'll give him a quick look at that. Drop down to Bretton. You get some nice views from the pub there. Can't remember what it's called now. The Barrel, I think. And then we're going to head down through Eyam, past the Blakestone, back to the car park. But in the meantime, I'm getting stuck into that bad boy. So, a bit of lunch for there. No sign of me being here. Heading to the Trig point, back over down. So let's stop. Oh, always the same when you're stopping it. Seize up. Keep going. Got everything. Keys, wallet, phone. Like a routine I do. I'm on about 10 miles from home. When I realise I forgot it, we're heading down there now. So it's looking all downhill. I think we might cut off over there and then down into Bretton and then back over to Eyam. So, oh, fucking hell. So yeah, we'll catch up with you shortly. If I haven't broken my ankle, thank God for these scarpers, I tell you. Number of times I go over and they're really good in the ankle support. I think I'd be buggered otherwise, I think. Right, a bit cooler now, there's a bit of wind coming up, but I've also just been stopped for about 15-20 minutes, so you soon cool down. Which is why I always take a down jacket with me. You can slip that on, keep yourself warm till you get moving again. Not really needed it today, but you can imagine if it's a bit cold. I think it's about 4 or 5 degrees up here probably. So head over the stile and down the road, and then we cut off to the right to this well and back down into Bretton. So I'll catch up with you when I see something of interest. That's clearly a new style, because otherwise you have to go quite a way up over the hill that way in order to get back up here, but clearly they've just put this in. See, there's a bit of wall they took out, and there's a nice new style, so that's good. So back on the road, just a thought actually while I think about it. I'll put a link in on the end card to the video to some interesting news I found out about the National Park Authority and the fact they're looking at all their costs, as these places do, because apparently their £6 million grant they have every year has never gone up, and it isn't enough. So I had a bit of a rant about it. I'll put a link to it, but in a nutshell, they're reviewing all of the Peak District visitor centres because they're running into the loss. My view is, so what? It's for the public, for public good. It's not a bloody business. I know it's good to get income in and help balance the books, but at the end of the day, it's not there to make a profit. It's there so that people, when they come to an area, can find out about it, look at exhibitions, all that type of good stuff. So I think there's a big meeting in July, so we'll keep an eye on that one. I've already been drilling for the accounts, so I'll send a link to that so you can look at it for your own good. For my mind, when you look at their estate management, things like their head office, there's a few areas I'd focus on before I shut visitor centres down, that's for sure. Probably smacks of mismanagement from the top as usual, and it all filters down. But anyway, keep an eye on that topic. I'll put a link in, like I said, and you can just kind of have a quick look through that. There's all sorts of links in there to the various elements, so yeah. I think there's also a bit of a post on my Facebook page as well, so again, follow that. I'll put that in the link, I always do. Yeah, okay, catch up soon. Another thing actually just reminded me, I was doing a video at the weekend, so just a short one about the way I clean my boots and a little bit of a tool called the Boot Buddy. which is really good, but I'll get that done next time my boots are muddy. They're not too bad today. But did the famous thing of, you know, got my head gear on, so I could actually show you as I used it. Leave me both hands free, and every time I turned it off, I was turning it on, and every time I turned it on, I turned it off. Reminds me of a friend of my parents. He went away for a 2-week holiday, 2 weeks, took his video camera, came back to show everyone the videos, and all he had was the video come out of this black box, line up on a cracking view, and then turn off. Hilarious, that was hilarious. He was gutted. 2 weeks of a holiday and he'd missed the job lot. Anyway, okay, see you shortly. We've one of our old mine workings over there, as you can see. Loads of it around here, covered in it. This looks like a popular bit for people parking up and having a walk. Save them walking up hills. Can't beat a good hill, seriously. I trained yesterday and I trained my legs reasonably hard. I can feel it today. That's for sure. You don't need a leg day when you're walking in these hills, that's for certain. So we're going off down there, and then just past the bend there's a footpath over to the right, through some woods, past this well, and then drop down into Bretton. Back over towards Eyam. Glider there, flying out from lost it. Oh, there it is. Glider there, flying out a little or Great Hucklow Gliding Club. Doing a loop. Cool. Look at that. It's almost like it's just hovering. Cool. Another little style over there to the right, off towards Abney. We were on Abney Moor a couple of weeks ago when we did that walk over Bradwell Moor. But we're heading down here, not far from Bretton now, like an old byway, like some William Hill Road's a byway open to all traffic, so you know, if you're into your green lane in, you could come down here. It'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? That? Farmer in the distance having a bit of a fire. So we'll crack on down here. It's a shame I'm not drinking because I could have stopped in the barrel for a pint. In which case, it's dark about 5, got about an hour and a half left. I've got about just over an hour to get back, so we'll stick to the plan and hopefully come back to you when I'm in Bretton. So there's planning to be some good views from there. Don't think they'll beat the old Trig point, but in terms of a view from a pub, it's meant to be some of the better ones around here, so I'll come back to you when I get there. Apparently the well's down there somewhere. You can bugger that today, mate. Probably get there and find out. It's nothing to shout about. They're mile up, but we'll keep going. It's like a nice deep dale or something down there. That could be a good walk. I'll check that out. It's not all about hills. Woodlands and dales can be. Lafco Dale's a good one, but that gets very busy. Anyway, and Dovedale and the like. I've done those in the past, but they're just so busy these days. It's not really what floats my boat. There you go. I like to be on my own. I find it quite almost meditative. A bit like when I ride my bike, my motorcycle, not a bike. It is a bike, but people think, oh, a bicycle. The only type of two-wheeled machine is one with a bloody great engine in it. So I'll probably do some videos on that actually when I start to get out and about on it in the next month or so. I'll get the old helmet cam on, I'll have a chug around there, Snake Pass and those sort of roads. That'll be quite good fun. Yeah, all you'll hear is the roar of the bike though, so we'll have to do a voiceover on that. Anyway, we're not far off Bretton now, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. There's a birds here, there's a bird for you in that garden. There's greenfinches, chaffinches, goldfinches, everything. I don't know if you can hear them or the mic's picking them up, but it's just full of them. Blue tits, goldfinches, chaffinches. There's a pheasant there. I'll get a picture of him. Well, the snowdrops are definitely out in this wood. If you can see them all there. A carpet of them. I heard a woodpecker somewhere in here as well, but it's gone quiet now. Nearly there. We're in Bretton now as it is, sort of down to the road. So I'm going to get my camera out because there's quite a lot of birds around. So it's caught a picture of a pheasant, but I can hear goldfinches, chaffinches and the like. So I'm going to do a bit of photography, I think. Place was full of robins. They can be quite vicious, you know. Robins, very territorial, and they'll battle to the death. So yeah, you think, oh, a nice cute little robin, bloodthirsty little buggers. They were just full of them. I've got a couple of pictures of one giving out a mating call in a gorse bush. So we'll see how that comes out. I think this is the pub to the left of me. But yeah, some stunning views there. You can imagine sat there in summer. Some cracking views. One for the list. That's a barrel. We're heading to this sign here and taking a right across the fields, heading over towards Eyam, across a few farmers' fields. Through the gorse. It's starting to flower now. You can make a tea out of gorse leaves. I also think you can smoke it. I don't know if I've ever tried anything like that, but apparently you can do that. So we're heading off down through that farm and then it cuts over to the left, if I remember rightly. Looks a pretty well worn path, so we'll just follow this now through to down towards Eyam. Lovely views again. Class. Great part of the world. You don't need to go abroad on holiday or anything like that to see some beauty, that's for sure. I'm not referring to myself. Be a busy site, but they've rerouted the footpath around the edge so you don't get run over by anything. So I'm going to follow it around here. Nice little path. Up through the woods now. About 1.5 miles to go. We follow this path till we get to the road and then cut down following the brook, Amber Brook I think it's called. Drops us down past the Plague Stone into Eyam. So really looking forward to seeing the Plague Stone. Heard a lot about it. Sounds quite cool. So catch up with you if I see anything more interesting. It's like something out of a horror movie. Little house there and this copse. It's got windows in it and everything. Looks like it's just been done up. I think this is the way the footpath goes up here. Yes, I see a yellow marker over there. That's cool, isn't it? I wonder what that's for. Bodies. The grill there. Very interesting. Right, we're headed up here now. Bit of a climb up through the woods onto the road. House or whatever it is from the front. Very strange. Pump house maybe or something. Looks like it's been all repointed and done up. Well, yeah, cool place. We're heading up through the woods now. Bit of a climb to the road. Cool structure there. Kids' den. Wild campers. I was making dens when I was a kid. Good to see. Whew. Up here to the road. But I'm hoping it's down after that. There's the village of Eyam, nestling in the valley there. Rather a cool house over there, like a small holding. But I'll get a picture of this. We're heading down here, off to the right, and then back into Eyam. So not long left now. So we crossed onto the path we came up on, and then we've just veered off to the right. I think I showed you that once, saying it was part of the White Peak to Dark Beat trail. So we're going to follow this down Brook to the Plaguestone, and then back into the village into the car. Then I'll do a quick wrap up. Big rambling group behind me. I saw them earlier, having to drop a couple of people off because I think one of them wasn't doing too well. But yeah, we're following the path down here. Should follow the rough line of that brook, Amble Brook or Amber Brook, I think it's called. And then yeah, I'll catch up at the Plaguestone. A cool path here through some lovely woodland. Got nest boxes up everywhere as well, which is good. So they'll be soon getting full of different birds and the like. I'm still going to go on this owl hunt at some time. Now there's a barn owl where I live. Yeah, so we're going to head down here to the Plaguestone. What I'll also do at the same point, I used to live in Wild Boar Clough, and there was a plague cross over at Langley where the people would come out in a similar way they used to at the Plaguestone, drop the goods off or exchange goods, leaving there. The other people would leave the money and pick them up. I caught a really good photo with a moon just over the top of the cross, so I'll dig that out, stick that on just so you can see it, and obviously we'll be at the Plaguestone shortly. Just bloody noticed, got a tear in my waterproof bloody cover thing for my phone. Must have snagged it on something when I got it out of the rucksack, or a bit of barbed wire maybe. So Amazon, get one ready for next week. So this is Highcliffe Mine. There's a very interesting notice there. I'll just get that in, take a picture of it. It's a lead mine. Started in 1715 by the looks of it. So yeah, I'll take a picture of that and stick that on the thing, on the video for you. So there we are. That's a Plaguestone. Now there is one. This isn't the one, so I think there's another one on the other side. I'll see if we can get time to go to that. It's got like small holes in it. So what the idea of these was, to stop the plague spreading, they would basically, villagers would come out here, leave their money in these little holes full of vinegar, because the belief was vinegar would kill the plague. And from places like Stony Middleton, they bring the goods and drop them here, never meeting obviously, and they'll just exchange these stones. There's one here and one on the other side of the village, so they're like on the boundary of the village, and that's how they managed to stop the plague spreading. So there was some logic there, a bit of a buffer zone, but even the vinegar and the holes makes some sort of sense. So they would leave stuff on here and yeah, swap without actually meeting each other. So really cool that. We're going to head off into the village. I'll have a look on the map and see if I can find the other Plaguestone. Yeah, but I haven't got time to get to that now, really. But what I'll do, I'll find an image of the other one, but a similar sort of thing, but with these holes in. That one didn't seem to have them unless they'd been eroded away. So we're going to head off now into the village, back to the car. I might do a bit of filming in the village. If not, I will see you back at the car and do a quick wrap up before my battery runs out. It's a quaint little track through the middle. I bet a lot of these are holiday cottages, you know. A bit like Castleton. Not many people actually live in the bloody village. Yeah, definitely. Lovely cottages there. Smell of fire as well. It's the only thing I miss. Having a real fire at home. The last place I had a log burner and a coal fire. But the new place is just, the location's just so fantastic. So, you know, you have to make a balance, don't you? Oh, place for sale here. Wonder how much that's going for. Anyway, back on the road now, so I'll stop filming when we get to the car. Old place says 1615 on the front. Bit similar age to Castleton, really. Sort of 16th, 17th century. Some lovely old houses. Well, we're going to head down there. There's a sign for the car park, and then we're back home. Some interesting troughs here. There's a sign here about them. Hall Hill Troughs, because of the nearby Bradshaw Hall. So the troughs established in 1558, providing water for domestic as well as agricultural use. Interesting, that. When I read that, you can pause that there. 350 years that's been used. Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, car park's just here. Just going to see if the old range is still there. The gangstermobile, as I like to call it. Although the rims are buggered now. Living around here. An old tower over there. Might take a picture of that. Only fucker left. See, some people have got no commitment. It's chicken and tyres. The back one's got a bit of a slow puncture on it, but yeah, it looks alright. These are clean. Right. Well, that was a cracking walk up over from Eyam, up over to Eyam Moor, over to the stones and the circle, stone circle there, and then we came back over Sir William Hill, back down through Bretton, past the Barrel pub, then across to Eyam, past the Plague Stone, back here. 8 miles, about 1480 foot ascent. I'll do the usual, I put the little 3D video up showing you it, with the profile and everything else on it, so you can see. But it's not a bad little walk for an afternoon, that. I enjoyed that, bit of history. Weather's held out, been a bit grey, so not too great for photographs, but we've got a few. So I'll catch you on the next one. I've got a bit of a graffiti on there. Little fuckers. Mind you, if I'd have been doing that as a kid, it'd have been far worse. Anyway, on that note, we'll see you on the next walk.